Well, hi there, it's Kim Hughes, and today we are going to talk about your LinkedIn profile. So we're going to give you 5 tips on how you can make your LinkedIn profile stand out above everybody else's in your market. Okay, so as you know, LinkedIn is a business-to-business peer group, which means this is not where you go and talk about what you had for dinner or pictures of you being on the lake or kids' pictures or anything. Strictly business. Only business. Do not put your listings on LinkedIn. Do not put your virtual tours. Do not put your just sold, your just listed. Nothing about listings. We do not use it. Agents do it, but it's a big no-no in the LinkedIn community that you don't do that. So what do you put on LinkedIn? This is where you can put your market stats. You can put links to articles that you have read. Maybe you do a blog and you can talk about, put your link to your blog in these articles that you put on LinkedIn. So there's a lot that you can do with it, but keep in mind that this is a business-to-business group. You want to connect with businesses, and this is a more professional group of individuals that you're going to talk to. So the first thing that we want to talk about is the how you set up that profile. So when you go in, and I'm going to assume that you already have a profile. We're just going to update it. If you do not have a LinkedIn account, then I suggest that the minute you finish watching this video, you go create a free LinkedIn account and then update your profile, meaning make sure you put a picture. Pictures are so important because into the world that we live in today that is so virtual, we need to know who we're talking to. We want to see what they look like. We want to feel a connection. So make sure you put a picture. Don't put your logo. Don't leave it blank. Don't put a picture of your dog. Put your own picture. If you don't have a professional picture, take your phone, take several pictures and pick one and put it up there. It doesn't have to be a professional photographer to do that. And then make sure your name is spelled correctly. Make sure your information is in there. So what I mean by that is that when you share this information on your profile, you're telling other people what you do for a living. If you went to LinkedIn and you looked at a lot of profiles like we do, a lot of people just don't fill in all the information and they're missing out on opportunities. So number 1 is share your profession. Tell us what you're doing for a living and what markets do you work in. I've seen agents put, real estate agent in Dallas, Texas. Okay, well, where do you work in Dallas? Dallas is a big place, so do you work on the north side, the east side, the west, the south? Do you work in specific suburbs, such as maybe, McKinney and Plano and Forney and Prosper? But maybe you don't go the other direction. So you got to tell us where you are marketing your business, okay? Where do you do business? And please, if you live in a city, don't say you work in the entire city because that's kind of a crazy thing to do. You don't want to list a property in Plano if you don't live in the area. You don't want to market yourself that you work in Highland Park when you live up in Prosper. That's a 2-hour drive just because of the traffic. So don't put that in there if you've only listed one house there, okay? Focus on your markets. Get it really fine-tuned so that when people do reach out to you through LinkedIn, they know exactly what market you're specializing in. Okay. A little mama talk there. So your location, we talked about that. What also you want to do is when you're looking at your location, you want to do the research and connect with people that are in the same industry. And so what I mean by that is title companies, mortgage lenders, home inspectors, appraisers, plumbers, electricians, home builders, housekeepers, dog keepers, people that can help you in this business so that you can become that resource when a client or somebody comes to you and says, you know what, I'm going to be, moving and I'm coming into the area, we're closing in 2 weeks, but I don't have anybody to keep my dog. I don't know where to go to put my my belongings while we get ready to move into this house. So you really need to kind of start building a vendors list, is what we call it, and have resources for not yourself, but for everybody else. Because when you connect with these people on LinkedIn, they will become connected to you, and then y'all can refer business back and forth. Okay, so it's very important that you're very specific on your location and you start connecting with people in your community and in your business. But that doesn't mean, you know, what I'm also going to say is go out there and connect with people in, you know, other businesses, you know, just because they're community mom and pop businesses, the CPA, you know, maybe the, you know, the people that own the dress shop down the road. Because when you connect with them, you're learning about them, they're learning about you, and that can become a community where you refer each other and you get to know each other. So these could be people you've never met, but you have this opportunity now to do that. And then on the about portion of your profile, make sure you fill that out. You know, we want to know who you are as well as what do you do for a living. But, you know, what are your interests? You know, do you play tennis? Do you play golf? Do you enjoy, you know, running? Things like that. So doesn't mean you have to write a whole book about it. Just say, you know, my interests are, and then A, B, and C, you know, 2 or 3 things. Because when you list something that you're interested in, it's going to attract people that have the same interests. So right there, you're building a rapport with people that have the same interests that you do. And then experience. So we want to make sure that you put what your experience is. If you've been in the business 30 years, then say, I have been a real estate agent for 30 years in, you know, Mineola, Texas, you know, helping the buyers and the sellers of our community achieve their real estate goals. You know, say what you do and be specific, and then talk about what areas of real estate do you work with. So if you work in an area that is farming, ranching, you know, acreage, then talk about that. If you work with commercial real estate, talk about that. If you specialize, be specific. But if you're a general, you know, you want to say, you know, I help property investors, I help commercial commercial property, etc. Then let everybody know, because then that could open up the door of opportunity there as well. And then your education. So what have you done? If you have just graduated from high school and went into being a real estate agent, no problem. It's not that big of a deal not to have a college degree anymore. And it should not define you, but we still need to tell people what your education is. So meaning, where did you go to high school? Because if you have lived and you grew up in this community, knowing that you went to the local high school will gravitate to other people. So that's a huge advantage. So make sure you do that. But if you went to school in another city, another state, put that in there. Then talk about your certifications, talk about your college education, real estate school, etc. So there's a whole lot of things that you can do with this profile, but just remember, it's a business to business peer group. So keep it that way, and you will gravitate to other businesses in the community to come and join you on your connections. All right, so that's what I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you'd give me a thumbs up, and then you can always subscribe by clicking the link below that says subscribe. And if you have any comments or any questions, please post that, and I'll be happy to answer them. If you need to reach me in any way, you can visit my website, kimhughes.com. Thank you so much, and you have a great day. Bye.